Hello friends, Cheryl here with InkedPulp, and got another video. I've been having so much fun making videos lately. So I bought this piece actually from an online sale, and the colors and stuff are not me at all. This is not my colors, but the reason I bought this was for the idea. I wanted to kind of look at how this was made and reverse engineer it and see if I could make something like it. So this was what I bought. And then earlier this morning, I made a prototype. This is more me. This is more my colors. But what it is, it's some book page. I used a dictionary here, and I didn't even notice this. I ended up with Satan on the back of it. But it will glue down to a page, so no one will see that. So it's a book page made into 3 pockets. And then I've got some little tags in here. There's one. Oops. There's another one. And then there's the third one. And then when you put this down on the page, you could put it down so that you have another pocket coming out the top, or you could make it a side tuck. You could do any number of little things. And I kind of staggered these side to side. So they staggered in there. But I really like it. I like the way it looks. I like these little color, I call them pocket covers, because they kind of go over the top of the pocket and give it some color. So I thought I would turn on the camera and make another one and show y'all how I made it, based on this one that came in a package that I bought. So welcome to the channel. I hope you like this video. I just love this pocket when I saw it, and I appreciate you being here to watch. So thanks for joining. Thanks for coming along, and let's get started. So I decided on this one I was going to use music page, and you'll need 2 sheets. And each sheet is going to be 8.5 inches tall by 4 5/8 wide. So let's get the trimmer up here. Let's first just trim off these kind of white edges, because I know I'm not going to need those. That didn't cut real straight, did it? It didn't cut straight at all. Well, we'll be cutting more again. So I'll make sure to get it straight. There, that piece cut straight. Okay. So now we need this to be, the dimensions are 8.5 tall, top to bottom, by 4 5/8 wide. Okay, so those are the dimensions for the, and there's 2 sheets. We're going to fold them, and that will make our pockets. All right, so let's see. This is going to be 4 5/8. 4/8 is a half, and so we're just going to go one more over from that. Okay, these I'll have left for something else. And then we want to make them 8 inches tall. I'm going to, see, that didn't come out straight again. I wonder what's going on here. Because I'm putting it straight up against the, there. And so we want this now to be 8.5 inches. There we go. All right. So I've got some little music scraps here to go in my scrap bag. All right. So now we've got our pages. That one doesn't look straight either. That's weird. All right. Oh, did I get 3? No, I've only got 2. So now these are going to make the folds. We're going to fold one up like this, and it will go in the back, and then this one folds up and it fits down in there to make the pockets. Okay? So we're going to have, for the tall pocket that goes in the back, we're going to fold it at, hang on, let me find my ruler here. What did I do? There it is. Hang on a second. That's 4 5/8. And it's thinner up here, which is not good. Well, let's get it all folded up together, and then I can, because I can see that it's bigger down here, and this is the size we wanted it to be, but it's all right. So we're going to fold this at, for the back pocket, the one that goes back, and it's going to come up and be this front one here. We're going to fold that 2.5 inches from the bottom. The inside pocket that's going to fold up and fit inside is going to be 3.5 from the bottom. So yeah, the same size. All right, so let's take this one. We'll make this the back pocket, and we're going to fold it at 2.5 inches. So I'm going to go 2.5 inches here. And 2.5 inches here. You fold it this way so I can see the. Okay, so that's going to make the back pocket. Then this one gets folded at 3.5. So 3.5, we're going to fold it there. I could score these, but I don't really think it's necessary. And then 3.5. I've got my little marks, and I can see these. All right. So there's our 2 pockets. Okay. Those are going to go like that. So I've got 1 pocket here, 1 pocket here, 1 pocket here, and the back one. And it's just the 2 pieces of paper folded in on themselves. Okay? Now, first thing we need to do, we need to round all the corners. And I'm going to use the big one, the 10 millimeter on this one, because we want all the corners rounded. There's that one. Y'all do like I do. I turn this thing upside down so I can make sure that it's really pushed in all the way, because if you don't get it in all the way, it makes kind of a funky cut. All right, so there's all our pages. Now, we need to put a thumb notch, and I got this nifty, neat little cutter. We need to put a thumb notch in this page, and this page. So you see here, we've got a thumb notch here, thumb notch here, and there's a thumb notch here. Don't need it in the back page. Okay, so what I did as I took these and lined them up. And then I still need one in this page. So I took all three and kind of lined them up together. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it to where it looks right. Okay. Now, by doing that, they all line up exactly the same. They're all in the exact same place coming down. And I like that. So that's how I get that. I just line them up. All right. Now, so that's all cut out, ready to go. Let's cut out these little panels that go over the pockets. And I've chosen for this one, I've got some blues and browns. Okay. And so it's just a hair short of 2 inches, but these pocket covers are 2 inches by 4 3/8. Okay, 2 by 4 3/8. Now let's get the paper trimmer out again. And so they're going to be 4 3/8 long. 4, 1, 2, 3. This is just a hair under 2 inches, but it'll be okay. All right. 4 3/8 by 2. Okay. And then I thought I would do some blue with this. So these are just scrapbook papers, and they don't have, this is a real thin weight, which is fine because, let's take this to 2 inches, which is fine because it's just going to glue down on top of that pocket. So it's not going to get any stress or anything like that. So let's see here. 4 3/8. And the last one. Let's find a straight edge on here somewhere. That's interesting. I'm going to use this side just to cut it straight down. All right. Let's do the 2 inch first. There's 2 inches. And there is 4 3/8. All right. Now we'll put all those scraps away, and this is what it's going to look like. So I'll probably put this one here, and then we'll put a brown one. And then we'll put another blue one. And then a brown one. Okay, and those are just going on the pocket fronts, except for this one goes on the back sheet. Okay, and that's what our pocket will look like. But first, we have to round the corners on these as well. And I found that trying to do 4 at once is difficult. So we will do 2 at a time. All right, so there's those. So they still have the same rounded the same rounded corners as the pockets. All right, let me move this away. All right, here we go. So now where we're left is assembling, just putting it all together. And the first thing that I need to do is ink around everything. Now I'm wondering, no, I think I'll stay with vintage photo. I was thinking about maybe using black, since there's black here, but I think that would be too heavy. So what I'm going to do is ink around all of these edges, ink across the top. I don't need to do the back because unless you plan on, yeah, those line up pretty good. Unless you plan on leaving this as a free floating piece, I was thinking that you would glue it down. So I need to ink everything up. So I'm going to do that, and I won't have you guys sit through it because I know that's not the most fun thing in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to ink everything up, and then we'll come back and put it all together. All right, I am back. Everything is inked up. Let me get these in the order. I want to start with the brown one or a blue one. Wish you guys could tell me what you think. I don't know if we should start with the more neutral. I think I will, because when I go to decorate it, it'll be more neutral. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just glue these on and roll up my sleeves so I don't get any ink on them. Boy, we're starting to get real winter weather. Not winter, fall. It's cool outside. We were getting, like into the low 70s just a week ago. During the day we get into the low 70s. But now we're lucky to get out of the 60s. Okay, and then I'm just going to try to even it up so I have an even amount on both sides. And I put this right underneath the thumb notch. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have this one. So yeah, it's got that nice crisp air feeling. In the morning, it's downright chilly. But then during the day, there's still that crisp undertone to the weather, even though the sun's out and it's beautiful and it is warm. It's just not overly warm. It's all right, and then that's going to go in there like that. Okay, and then we have this one. Next, we're going to have the blue one. I just put the wrong one on there. Boy, I'm still liking this glue. I bought a box of 6 of them, and so it should keep me for quite a while. This is going to go here, and then this one is going to go here. Okay. And then, look how nice that's looking. And then the last one will go at the top. So this is kind of a fun pocket to make, I hope. And, you know, you could do so much with it. Instead of putting these paper, like I said, I'm calling them pocket covers. Instead of putting those on, you could use some lace, some fabric. You could really use anything. Lace or fabric, or you could put strips of washi tape. You could do anything in there. All right. So there's that. Now, the next thing we're ready to do is sew around the outside. But before I do that, I want to tack it down a little bit with glue because these are pieces within pieces, and I don't want them to come apart when I'm sewing or slip. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, if I can get it to come out. I'm going to put a little bit of glue to tack these down. Doesn't have to be a lot, and it doesn't even really have to be, you know, completely all the way down. It could be a little bit spotty in places. It doesn't. I did that wrong. I glued those on there wrong. I've got browns and 2 blues. Oh well. I did that wrong. I was going to go alternating, but it really doesn't matter. Get that down in there real good. You just want to make sure that these line up on the sides as you're gluing them down. Just enough to tack it down, because we will be sewing around that. All right, so I've got 2 blues with 2 browns on the outside. I didn't glue those pieces down on the right tabs, but you know what? It's perfectly fine. All right, I'm going to go sew around this, and because I can't take the camera over there, I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys. There's no sense in you just having to sit there and listen to me run my sewing machine. So I'm going to pause, and I'll be back when this is sewn together. All right. So we are all stitched around there. I'm loving that. These also look like pockets. They're not. As you saw, we glued them down. They're little covers, but, you know, you could make them pockets. You could also, hang on, let me get my lace trim jar out here. You could also take a piece of lace and run down one side of this, or both sides. Or we could put a piece of lace across here and then just put a nice big flower in the middle of it. There's so many different ways that you could decorate this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out my tags. Tags or journal cards, one or the other. Hang on here. Alrighty, let's see what I've got. This is all my pre-made ephemera. And I'm pretty sure I can find something in here. Now, I've got a couple that are, that go across. These were some of my Your Creative Studio, the gift cards that come with them. Not the gift cards, the business cards. And I decorated those. I would have to put a topper on that so you would know. I've also got some of these book page pockets that I could put down in there, but that's awful tall. Let's see, what else do I have here? I'm looking for things that have toppers on them already. Not this one. This one doesn't have a topper, but I could certainly put a topper on it. What did I do with that one I just had? Let's see. Some of these are pockets. So let's get past the pockets. That's a cool journaling card. Could put that in there. And then that in there. So we've got a bird thing going on here. Now, sorry about that, I just knocked over my glue. Nope, that's too tall. I'm looking for something that could go in there as the bird and poke up over the top. I surely have something in here in all of this pre-made ephemera. That's too big. That's pretty, but that's too big. Let's see. My husband is just getting home, so if you hear a little bit of noise, that's him coming home. I'm recording. These are all just too tall. All right, let me look in another box that I have real quick. And if not, I mean, I can always change these out. They don't have to stay this way. Here's a little envelope. It has a one that's too tight for that because it has a button on it. Oh, here we go. There we go. There are 3 birds. But I certainly don't have to put birds in. I can put, here's another little tag with a little flower on it. I like that one in there. We can do something different. There. So we can stagger those, and I could put a topper on these other 2. So you can put in there whatever you like. There's no right or wrong, certainly. I need to sort my little bins out here because everything's getting all jumbled together. But there, now we need something on here. And let's see, what? Let's look at the birds. Now see, that was real busy music paper in the beginning, but you really don't see it unless you turn it over onto the back. But let's see what we've got for birds. I've got that one. Let's see what else we have. That's too big. Too big. It's kind of too big too, and it's not really the right colors. Something about this size I think is good. Got all kinds of birds in here. I'm not sure that a bird is what I want. So I could cut that off there. I actually kind of like that. Now, what I would also like to do is put a little bit of, oh, I don't know, some book page or some, not lace, because lace will make it all wonky. But if we took a little bit of book page and put behind this guy, I think that would look nice. So let's do that. And we're going to end up cutting off his little tree that he's standing on. And then I do want to take just a second here to cut out this little white bit. I don't always, when I'm fussy cutting, I don't always take time to cut out these little spaces. And the reason is not because I'm being lazy, it's because it a lot of times will leave a very fragile like leg hanging down or a little piece that could easily get torn. And I want to keep it, solid until I go to use it. So I oftentimes don't. Oh, this is some fragile paper. It's cracking. Crack-a-lacking. All right, let's put this down. Let's ink him up a little bit. Boy, cutting out the tail was fun. Look at the little bits on the tail. That was a fun, fussy cut. I do enjoy fussy cutting though, so I don't mind it. Okay, so let's put let's put this guy on here on the paper, the book page, and then from there we'll adhere the book page to the pocket. So I hope you guys will give this a try. It's a fun pocket to make. It's a fun pocket. There we go. And then let's glue this down. My puppy dog is so happy. My husband was gone overnight, and he just got home. And my dog is over the moon happy. She loves her daddy. And she's so funny because the one thing she really loves doing is playing Frisbee. And I can't throw the Frisbee to save my soul. I cannot throw it. So I was sitting outside with her earlier today, and she got her Frisbee and she brought it over to me and dropped it at my feet. And I'm like, oh, sweetie, I can't play Frisbee. So I'm going to take these little tags out just to show you what this looks like as the pocket. So there it is. Isn't that just a pretty bird on there? Goes with the blue here. Pretty easy to make. 2 pieces of paper and some inking and some covers and some stitching, and here we are. So I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know if you decide to make one of these so I can, I'd love to see it. If you want to send me an email at inkedpulp@gmail.com and let me see what you made, I would love that. And in the meantime, I'm going to put these back in so I can take a picture. And this one. All right. There we go, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And I have one other really great envelope that I saw someone make in a video that I want to share with you guys. So watch for that video. It'll be another fun pocket idea. All right, everybody have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.